That would actually be incredible.
How have you felt like you've been acclimating to the NFL over the course of the season?
Yeah, I feel like I've been constantly improving and kind of learning what you don't know, if that makes sense. There's so much that you don't know. And as the week's gone on, I've figured out things I need to be better at, things I need to work on and continue to prepare for. And the vets in the room and the coaching staff have been incredible, helping me out and making sure I know what to expect.
So far, it seems like Doug's message every week seems to be that you guys are beating yourself in the losses. In your experience playing football, how do you kind of erase some of those mistakes that kind of hamstring you over the course of a game?
Yeah, it's obviously frustrating, and I think it's something that you have to, look within yourself and focus on at practice, and it's things that show up at practice that may get overlooked and show up in the game. So for us, it's just about continuing to harp on those details and continue to lock down the preparation and, make sure what comes out on Sunday is the finished product.
Is the confidence still there in the locker room that you guys can get this turned around?
Absolutely. I'm in a room full of older guys that have all won and lost a lot of football games. And just the way, seeing them approach the way these weeks as they continue to go on, you can tell they're excited and still optimistic and confident.
What's been the message from the leaders in the locker room sort of to try to get you guys going in that right direction?
Yeah, for them, it's just been just continuing to keep your head down and work. A lot of people, when things get tough, start pointing fingers or start cracking, and that's the last thing you can do. And I really believe the dam is gonna fall. Keep pressing, keep continuing to push it. It'll all come together.
From your point of view, what happened on the quarterback sneak on fourth and about a half yard? Did you feel you didn't? Obviously you didn't get the collective push that you wanted. But did something happen? You very rarely see a quarterback immediately get pushed back like Trevor did on that particular play.
Yeah, that's 100% on me and the rest of the guys inside. And, we didn't get it when we needed to get it. And so that's what happened. You're right.
Is it purely just leverage? There's so
Yeah,
many one-on-one battles that sometimes the guy who gets lower and is able to.
Yeah, it's just one man against another, and we didn't come out on top that time. It was a critical situation, and we didn't get it, so that one stings.
You ever been to London before?
No, I've not. I've actually never left the country, so I'm excited.
Do you watch any soccer? Have you ever watched a game at Wembley Stadium before?
In 8th grade, I had to decide between playing soccer or football for the rest of my life. I think I chose correctly, but yeah, I used to be a huge soccer fan.
So it still comes together that you get to play a game at Wembley, then?
Absolutely. All full circle, yep.
What position did you play in soccer?
I played goalie and then midfield. Yeah, I used to be really skinny too. That part changed as well, yeah.
On the illegal man downfield penalty, what kind of happened from your perspective in that situation? I wasn't able to go back and look at the play again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was engaged with the player, and obviously it gets tricky when you're running those RPOs, and you might be running it, might be passing it. So it's something we got to look at and go back and make sure we're all on the same page, and the offensive line knows what the receiver's doing and vice versa. So definitely something to look at. I'm not sure what happened, to be honest with you.
How much help has some of the veteran guys on the O-line been for you getting accustomed to everything that's going on in the NFL, like Brandon Sheriff, Tyler Shatley? How helpful have those guys been?
It's been great. They've combined something like 15 or 16 years of experience, and just to hear them talk and hear them give pointers and tell me what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, it's been tremendous, and I'm very thankful for it.
What were the players thinking on the field after Christian Kirk's reverse run didn't produce a first down? Did you think it was a first down, or you weren't sure? Because obviously, they went back and there was at least a look at it. But did you think it was a first down and then got confused when all of a sudden you're looking down and it's 3rd and 1?
Yeah, I didn't really see it, and I think in the huddle at the time we were like, doesn't matter, we're going to get it anyway. Which obviously we didn't, but we weren't really focused on what the refs called at that moment or anything, and that's something that kind of only happened this morning for us. So not something we thought about at the time, and it happened.
How much of a heartbreaker was that last play when you look up and see Christian Kirk just hanging out at the 1 yard line?
Yeah, that's a brutal picture. I don't know if you saw the still photo of him. That's a tough picture, and like I said, you just got to keep pressing, and the dam will break. I really do believe that.
Is it fun blocking for a running back like ET, and you kind of look up and then there he is just down the field?
It's so much fun. You have no idea where he's going to end up. It's it's really fun. You'll think you're over here, and next thing you know, he's way down there. And yeah, he's awesome. He's working his butt off, and I'm really excited to see him continue to grow.
Good. Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
How much did 11:30's left on the clock? So if you decide to go ahead and kick the field goal, you're still only up one score.
Correct.
If there had been maybe 4 or 5 less minutes on the clock, would you have probably gone ahead and kicked it? Did that
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scenarios, that could play into that. There was a lot of time, left. I took into consideration how we were moving the ball offensively, quite frankly, and so felt good about going for it in that situation.
Did the fact that it was a half yard as opposed to maybe a yard?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you got to go, 18 inches or so, right? Yeah, I mean, you should pick those up 98 to 100% of the time,
Do you have
After
a
he-
status update on James Robinson? Is he hurt, or what's he sort of dealing with?
No, I mean, he has been dealing with some lower body, issues, preferably, or I should say, most in his knees right now. But he is a big part of what we're doing. We know Travis is playing, well right now too, and it doesn't take anything away from James. It just so happens that in certain situations, Travis is getting the ball. But as we move forward, we're always going to continue to find ways to get James, going in the mix, and he's a big part of what we're doing.
Is that like a knee soreness? And because he wasn't on the injury report.
Yeah, no, it's just soreness, and then it was dealing with it a little bit in the game. And look, I'm big about guys that I want to make sure I know they're not always going to be 100% in games, but I want them to be close, and I want them to not worry about it, from a mental standpoint. And again, it just kind of goes back to how well Travis was playing at the time. So again, it's nothing about James's playing time. It's nothing about him as a running back. I got a lot of confidence in James. We're going to continue to find ways to get him on the field because I feel like as an offense we are better when both those guys are playing.
After each loss this season, you've basically said the teams kind of beat theirself and different mistakes kind of show up. How frustrating is it for you as a coach that it feels like there's new mistakes for 4 weeks in a row now?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. But the thing is, too, the guys know. I mean, that's the thing about it. They've played a lot of football. They understand when the mistakes are made, and it's on us as coaches to make sure that they not one, that they understand, but two, that we help fix it, right, and we help correct and give them the answers. So that falls on the coaches, and then the players having to execute the game plan and knowing their assignments. That part of it's on them. So that's why it's a two-way street. But these mistakes have kind of kept us from winning these close games.
How did you think Trey Herndon did yesterday?
I thought Trey did a nice job. I know there were some plays over the top, but he, for the most part, for someone that's coming in there and filling in and doing a nice job from a backup position, who knows what's going, as we move forward, if he's going to have more of a full-time role there. We'll see where Shaq is this week, but he plays good. He plays tough. He plays hard. I'm just excited about hitting him. Getting more opportunities.
Do you think he's earned the right to start at that spot even if Shaq's healthy?
Well, I think if Shaq's healthy, you can't discredit that. Shaq obviously is the starter at that position, but Trey's done a nice job. That if Shaq weren't able to go, then obviously he would take that spot.
With this being a London week, does that make it a tougher call on a guy like Shaq because you have to make it by Thursday?
It can, yeah. The travel and everything, it can. And again, with Shaq's injury too, you want to make sure that he's comfortable and we're comfortable, and there's no further risk to his back, and just want to make sure that he's 100%. But yeah, short week, and we're traveling on Thursday. It's almost like a bye week, or not a bye week, but a Thursday game. Where you want to be a little more overly cautious.
You mentioned last week when teams have success against you guys doing something that future opponents might try to replicate it. Is that what you kind of saw the Giants offense, just quick passing, kind of like the Colts did the week before?
Well, it was. A lot of it was some RPO stuff, which the Colts don't do a ton of that. But we knew too that a lot of the Giants' offense was going to run through Saquon and Daniel Jones, quite frankly, and I thought for about 3.5 quarters, like I said, we corralled Saquon pretty well. He had a couple of runs in there, but for the most part, did a nice job with him. The one area that we have to look at is obviously with the quarterback and some of the quarterback runs, with athletic guys, and those are areas that we have to clean up, on the defensive side, and try to, knowing that that's kind of their game plan, just kind of focus in and lock in on that and try to win each down.
With the quarterback runs, is that the defense sort of paying too much attention to Saquon, or what sort of happened in that area? When you lose contain and things of that nature.
I think it depends on the defensive call, because there's different ways you can defend it, right? I mean, you can bend the defensive end and scrape the linebacker, or you can charge the defensive end, and there's many different ways that you can play with a safety there. You can play corners there. There's a lot of different ways you can play defense there. So it's just all about the communication and understanding. Again, just goes back to understanding your role, understanding the call, the nuances of different adjustments that an offense might make that a defense has to make. But again, credit the Giants. I mean, they took advantage of some opportunities there and hit us for some QB runs.
Sorry. Giants put down 2 offensive linemen during the game. Should there have been better push especially after those 2 guys go out against Jones and maybe in the interior as well?
Yeah, you would think that you could get a little more pass rush, there. Again, listen, the guys that filled in did a nice job for them too. I mean, that's you can't take that away from them, and that's something that we've got to take a look at, and try to, in situations like that, do better. It was the same way with us when one of their corners went out in the game. We had an opportunity to take a shot, and we just missed on a deep ball. But it just kind of goes. That's the chess match of football, and try to create those matchups when you can.
I have one question for you.
All right.
When you were interviewing and taking the job, you knew that there would be an annual game in London. Was that anything that caused you any kind of second thoughts about?
No.
I mean, just doing it annually.
That's why I'm here. I wanted to go to London every year. No. It was part of it. I mean, we all understand. I think people around the league understand Jacksonville is going to be a part of the London game, the tradition of playing over there, and we're excited. We're thrilled to be over there, and to be able to take your team. And there's a lot of guys that don't get a chance to travel outside the country, and it's a great way for them to experience a new city. London's a great city, and play football over there. Some great fans over there. NFL fans. I mean, you're going to see jerseys from all 32 teams. That's the beauty of going over there, the excitement of going over there. So, we know we're going to go there. We're excited about it, looking forward to it, and it might be good for us.
I didn't mean second thoughts about taking the job. I just meant going every day.
What's your level of concern right now about the defense, just in terms of only 2 sacks the last 3 games, haven't had a turnover in almost 4 full games, and this week there was a lot of penalty issues too. I'm just wondering, do you feel like the unit is regressing, or is it just going through a little bit of a dry spell? And
well, I think we have, as a staff, we got to take a look at what we're doing game plan wise, right? Sometimes you can get, it's like offense. I mean, if you're struggling offensively, a lot of times you try to pull back just a little bit on the volume of information and try to free up your players mentally a little bit. And so those are all things that we've got to address, I think, here in the next couple of days, and really see if we're doing, number one, doing too much. And then, the other thing too is just, we've got to understand as players too that, we've got to do our best to create turnovers, right? That's if you can punch at a football or swipe at a football, or some of these tip passes are just kind of falling out of reach of our players, getting hands on the quarterback, getting sacks, whatever it is, we've got to be able to figure that out. And sometimes they do come in bunches, but we got to get back to what we did I think in the first part of the season, how we started the season with getting after the quarterback, creating turnovers, and again, understanding what our players do best.
Quick follow-up, what did you see on the extra point that was missed? Was the kick just too low?
No, we just, I mean, there was penetration off our left side. The guy did a nice job of bending the corner, and just got a hand on it.
Trevor, 2 weeks in a row without turnover. Is he kind of taking the strides you want to see him take, even if the wins haven't come yet?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks he's done a nice job, leading the football team. Yesterday he played tough from a physical standpoint. Played physical. Took some shots in there. Standing tall. That last drive with 1:04, I think, left. We ran about 10 plays or so. I mean, and he took some shots there. It was great to see him get us down there in position again. So, he's on the right track. We just got to keep him headed in the right direction. Keep him focused. Obviously, can't get discouraged with where we are because we're still right there. With everything that's going on, and we just got to find a way to get one win.
The fourth quarter, it seems like you guys struggle a little bit in that area. How do you sort of get it to where you guys are playing the same way in the first 3 quarters and in the fourth quarter?
I mean, it's just the same mentality. Each week you got to learn how to finish, and we talk about finishing a play in practice or that period in practice, and then finish practice. And it's the same way with the game. You got to learn to finish the play, finish a quarter, a half, and then ultimately the game. And we just keep working at it and keep pushing at it, and creating opportunities for ourselves, and really just you can't obviously be so caught up in mistakes that kind of handcuffs you a little bit. You just still got to go play and be aggressive and all of that, and hopefully we push through it and learn how to finish.
Hey, Doug. Thanks for your time, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, hey guys, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Struggling to find wins in the NFL. What sets apart winning teams from not so much winning teams?
It just all comes down to the last quarter and just finishing. And, we're always right there. We just got to, get over that edge and, keep fighting. Eventually it's going to fall through for us.
Well, what does that look like? I mean, finishing games, everyone talks about it, and you got to learn how to win. What does that look like? Is it you got to stick to your fundamentals, or what do you have to do?
It just comes down to, making smart plays, not being yourself, not shooting yourself in the foot, and just trusting your teammates and hoping everybody does their job. And I think that'll, separate you and help you win games.
Do you feel like this defense is pressing a little bit? Just you want to make a play so bad you might be overcorrecting a little bit?
I wouldn't say we're over pressing. I just think we just going hard, and sometimes that can hurt you. But everybody everybody trusts each other on the field, and willing to do whatever it takes to win. So we're just gonna keep pushing, keep working at practice, keep learning from our mistakes, and eventually it'll work out for us.
Why have the turnovers dried up?
We just not making the plays we got to make, and but it's past in the past. So we got this week as an opportunity to bring our turnovers back up. So we're gonna fix it.
A game like yesterday, where you're not targeted very much, what's that kind of like for a corner?
I mean, my mindset, I just take it one play at a time. Because I got to have short-term memory, so I can't be like, they're not going to throw at me this game because, at any given moment they could throw the ball anyway. But, I just got to keep reminding myself, don't get rocked to sleep, just stay ready each and every play and every pass play, just act like the ball is coming to you, so just stay ready and stay locked in.
You ever get the feeling of man, throw it this way, like once?
Yeah, sometimes, especially if I'm in a zone coverage, try to bait the quarterback, thinking guys open and stuff like that. But, I'm always just locked in and ready for anything to come our way.
But you got to kind of take it as a compliment when they don't go your way, right?
Yeah, you take it as a compliment. Feel like you're shutting your part of the field down. So as a DB, definitely had that mindset.
You got some fond memories from London last year?
Yeah, my first time in Europe. Last year I didn't play, so I'm looking forward to it. And get to see our fans in Europe and how they interact with us. So it's going to be fun.
Have you ever lost 4 games in a row in your life on any level of football?
No,
Tell me how it is trying to deal with just the post-game fallout of all this, and not trying to let these losses wear on you, and focus on whatever the next opponent is, the next film study, all that stuff.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, just come down into finishing games, and you realize this is the NFL. So every team you play, it's going to be a team full of professionals and full of superstars. So, of course you hate to lose, but there's still something to be optimistic about, and I'm very optimistic, and I feel like each loss we learn something. So I have the faith, and we put the work in. So eventually I feel like we're gonna turn the ship around.
There seems to be an unrelenting optimism in this locker room that no matter how many, even as these losses are piling up, there doesn't seem to be any sign of even negativity, or whether you want to call it finger pointing or anything like that. But it seems like, where does that come from? Where does that belief in the midst of adversity come from?
Yeah, when adversity hits, not everybody, handles it the same. So, as a team, we feel like when we hit adversity, that's the perfect time where we got to just, embrace each other and come together as one group. And I think that's what we're doing right now, and it's only just making our drive to win and our hunger even grow even more. So, that's what's exciting. We just keep pushing, and we know what's on the other side of the fence. So we just got to keep working.
After each loss, the message from everyone's been, it's your mistakes that have kind of cost you the game, not the other team necessarily beating you. Can it be frustrating when it seems like new mistakes kind of have popped up for 4 weeks in a row now?
Yeah, most definitely. And at the same time, it's like, dang, like these teams aren't beating us as if we're beating ourselves. And Coach Pederson says it all the time, like, it's always going to be about us, not about the other team, not about the outside noise. It's just always going to be about us. So we just got to keep the main thing, and not make the same mistake twice. And I think a lot of things come our way.
Can it be a little bit more rewarding when you walk into a situation like this one where the franchise has kind of struggled, it's kind of a rebuild, to where if Doug and you guys do get the light to kind of come on, you were a part of it from the beginning all the way to wherever you can take it?
Yeah, that's the goal right now, just to change the whole culture around here, and to spark things up around here, and to get the win and get football games. So everybody has their role and has their job, so everybody's going to be excited to play their part into building this into a great organization.
Kind of score prediction for Saturday?
I got the Dogs winning, but maybe.
Will they come? 22 points.
It was 22 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot, I'll go with that.
You and some of the Gator guys in the locker room, like Jawan, whenever Florida Georgia comes up, you guys ever talk about that around?
Nah, he don't talk to us. He don't talk to us.
Good. Thanks, Tyson.
Appreciate y'all.
That's easy money to take from Jawan this week, right?